friends, and welcome back to Movies, Munchies, and Moscato. I am Rhonda.
And I am Rochelle.
We're just a couple of friends who love movies, television, and wine. So if that is something that interests you, please stick around and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Now it's time for movie and TV news and pulp culture discussion. So first up, Keanu Reeves has dropped out of Hulu's Devil in the White City. No answer as to why. He was also a producer, but he's not going to be on it, helping with it at all. So,
wow.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of stuff surrounding this thing.
Yeah.
Just can't seem to get off the ground.
I know, it's crazy. So far, Leonardo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese are still attached as producers.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but no other actors had ever been cast, so I don't know what's going to happen with it. I guess it's still going to move forward. Guess we'll see. Yeah, it's very weird.
Huh.
Don't know what's happening there. Harrison Ford has joined Captain America New World Order as General Ross. Some of you may not know, but the former General Ross in those movies was William Hurt, and he has passed away, so they needed to recast him. So I think Harrison Ford is a great choice.
That's right. I forgot William Hurt passed away.
So
How long ago was that?
Maybe a year, maybe two.
Really?
At the most. Yeah.
Oh.
So
I liked him.
Yeah, I did too. So yeah, it's a good choice. I'm kind of surprised. I don't know why you technically need the character, but I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Well, they might make it a kind of a integral part of it, especially if they've got Harrison Ford on board.
Oh, you mean like change their plans from before?
Well, maybe. I don't know. Just having Harrison Ford, you would think it would there'd be more of a role for him. I don't know.
Yeah, they might add him more into it. I'm surprised only because General Ross isn't known that much in the Captain America universe. It's more only the Incredible Hulk universe.
Right.
So that's why I was like, why did this character even need to be in a Captain America movie? But maybe Hulk's featured too, and it just hasn't said yet. I guess we'll see later.
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg wants to have Lizzo, Nicki Minaj, and Keke Palmer for Sister Act 3, which I found very interesting. I don't know if that means she herself does now not want to be in it, or what that means, or she just wants them to join her. It wasn't really clear when she said that.
Oh my gosh, can you see Nicki Minaj and Lizzo as nuns?
Nuns? No, it's very interesting. But I guess plans are still being...
Palmer?
Keke Palmer, she is an actress. She was on Nickelodeon for years. She had her own show. I forgot what it was called. Right now, she sometimes co-hosts Good Morning America, like the third hour, like if they need somebody.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, she's super funny. She's been acting since she was like 14.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, she's super funny. And then finally, Amblin Entertainment is planning a sequel 26 years later to the movie Twister that originally starred Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton.
Wow.
I know. Why they've all of a sudden want to do that so long after that came out, I don't know.
Right?
Obviously no one, I mean, Bill Paxton's passed away, but no word of Helen Hunt. Maybe we'll come back into it.
Yeah, she might. Kind of like what they did with the Jurassic Park. brought in those people.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it'll be something like her kids or something, or maybe it'll be like they had kids and the husband has now passed away, and then she's trying to like help the kids or something. Now hunt twisters. Maybe it'll be something like that.
Right.
So,
well,
I'm curious. That was a movie I really liked, so I guess we'll see.
I
what
did
they
too,
do
and
with
I
it.
loved Bill Paxton. I can't believe he passed away. That was so crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, being not that old, pretty young, and I feel like he was just in his late 50s, early 60s at the most. So yeah, crazy. So, movies and TV shows out. We will do last week and also this week since we didn't have an episode last week. So for last week, we have Halloween Ends. This is in theaters and also on the Peacock streaming service. And it stars Jamie Lee Curtis. So 4 years after her last encounter with masked killer Michael Myers, Laurie Strode is living with her granddaughter and trying to finish her memoir. Myers hasn't been seen since, and Laurie finally decides to liberate herself from rage and fear and embrace her life. However, when a young man stands accused of murdering a boy that he was babysitting, it ignites a cascade of violence and terror that forces Laurie to confront the evil she can't control.
Oh, maybe this is the one where she takes out Michael Myers. Finally.
I'm assuming so. When I saw the trailer, my first thought, because of what she said in the trailer, was that I think they actually might kill her off.
Oh, and not Michael.
Right. No, both. Because in the
Both.
trailer, she says a line like, "I feel like the only way maybe it could die is if we both like go." And I was like, "What?" And then I'm thinking like, "Oh, maybe they're about to kill her off." So, like in her mind, maybe she's like, "I have to take him out, and I have to go with him to make this like stop," which I can see.
Yes,
Like,
and people have said. I mean, it's been released, so the fact, right? Hasn't it been?
Yeah, it was last week. Mhm.
Last week. So, well, I'm going to see it, so I'll let you know, or
Okay.
maybe I won't.
Maybe you won't see
I'll
it.
let you know in November.
Oh, okay.
For those that haven't seen it.
There you go. Then we have The Curse of Bridge Hollow. This is a movie on Netflix and stars Marlon Wayans and singer Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child. So a man and his daughter must team up to save their own town after an ancient and mischievous spirit causes Halloween decorations to come to life and wreak havoc. I did watch the trailer on this. It looks pretty funny. Like, not scary, but just like a funny Halloween show.
All you had to do is say Marlon Wayans, and you're
it.
like, oh, this is going to be funny.
That's true. So I probably will watch this just because if I have to watch something Halloween-y, along with Clue, why not have something else funny?
There you
like
go.
The Curse of Bridge Hollow. Then we have The Watcher. This is a series on Netflix and stars Naomi Watts, Bobby Cannavale, I never say his right name right, and then Jennifer Coolidge. So a family moves into their dream home only to be plagued by ominous letters, strange neighbors, and sinister threats. Based on a true story.
Which I'm watching now, and I'm actually almost through. I think
Oh,
I've got
okay.
a couple episodes, but yeah, it's crazy. The neighbors are crazy.
It looks crazy. Just to know that
Yeah.
it's based on a true story and that apparently to this day they still can't freaking sell that house.
Yes.
Because every time they disclose what's happened there, this lady was like, no.
Yeah. Yes.
It's so weird to me. That's why I don't want to watch it because I don't want anything that's too true to life to know that this could really be happening. So that's why I don't want it. I don't want to invite it into my life.
Well, we don't know who the Watcher is yet.
True.
I
wonder
don't.
if they even ever found out.
I know. I'm wondering.
It's interesting.
Now that
Which it wouldn't even matter. It's like, you harass me enough, I would move too. It's
yes,
like, oh well.
because they keep receiving letters, these weird letters that of just someone whose turn it is to watch the house. It's crazy. So anyway, I'm excited to finish it.
Oh, excuse me. Then we have Shantaram. This is a new series on Apple TV and stars Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy. So fugitive Lynn Ford looks to get lost in chaotic 1980s Bombay. Alone in an unfamiliar city, Lynn struggles to avoid trouble but falls for an enigmatic woman and must choose between freedom and love and the complications that come with it. This looks, I don't think I realized it was set in the 80s watching the little trailer on it, but it actually does look interesting. So I may have to check it out.
Okay.
Apple always does interesting
They
things,
do.
so
That is for sure.
I'm sure it won't go exactly how you're thinking it's going to go. And then finally for last week, we have Rosaline, or Rosaline. I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
Rosaline.
This is a movie on Hulu and stars Caitlin Dever from Dopesick and also Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones and then Kyle Allen. So we have a comedic retelling of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet told from the point of view of Romeo's jilted ex, Rosaline. I just forgot what you said.
Rosaline.
The woman Romeo first claims to love before he falls for Juliet. This actually looks really funny.
I would say.
I probably will check this out. I think this is a good one to add to the list when you just want something silly to watch. It looks pretty
After
funny.
watching something scary, this would be probably a good one to watch.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so for this week, Black Adam is in theaters and stars Dwayne Johnson, Pierce Brosnan, and Aldous Hodge. So in ancient Kondak, guys, these words are just
Right.
going to get me. Anyway, Kondak Teth, or no, it's okay. So the place is called Ancient Kondak. I'm going to say.
Yes,
Anyway,
I think you're right.
Teth Adam was bestowed the almighty powers of the gods. After using these powers for vengeance, he was imprisoned, becoming Black Adam. Now free, his unique form of justice, born out of rage, is challenged by modern-day heroes who form the Justice Society. I actually do want to see this, mainly because I'm curious, because this has been something that Dwayne Johnson wanted to do for like a decade, and he finally got to do it. So, it doesn't look bad. It looks like it's one of those standard actiony movies.
Yeah.
I mean, the story right now it has like mixed reviews. So I'm
Oh,
sure
does
it's
it really?
Yeah, I'm sure it's because the story is probably not the best, but a lot of times in these action movies, it isn't the best. So,
Right. Yeah. You're going for the special effects.
yeah, it is a DC based hero. For some reason, they already spoiled, I guess, one of the end credits, which I'm sure because it's only been released to critics, and that critic shouldn't have said anything. But well, I'm not going to say it here. Anyway, I learned what the end credit was, and I'm like, oh, that actually is a pretty good. If it's getting a sequel, it's a pretty good setup for a sequel.
Oh, okay.
When I read what it was, so anyway.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if it gets a sequel.
A sequel, right? Exactly. It probably will, just because I feel like lately anything Dwayne The Rock Johnson does, like,
Right.
it's gold.
Well, people go there to look at him.
That's true.
He could
That's
probably do a really bad movie and, still looking at him, it makes up for it.
These days, true. That's true. Then we have Ticket to Paradise. This is in theaters and stars George Clooney, Julia Roberts, and Caitlin Dever again.
I know.
So a divorced couple teams up and travels to Bali to stop their daughter from making the same mistake they think they made 25 years ago.
I want to see this.
I actually want to see this too. It looks great. It's great. Funny, classic, Julia Roberts kind of rom-com, but with a family this
Right.
time. So, yes, I do want to see it too. It looks very cute. Then we have The School for Good and Evil. This is a movie on Netflix and stars Kerry Washington and Charlize Theron. So best friends Sophie and Agatha find themselves on opposing sides of an epic battle when they are swept away to an enchanted school where aspiring heroes and villains are trained to protect the balance between good and evil. This apparently is based on a series of books. I think there's like 3 or 4 of them. I have to admit the trailer actually grabbed me. It reminded me of like Harry Potter-ish, which is probably why it grabbed me.
Yeah.
So I'd probably watch it just because I was like, oh, I love magic. This is
Well, and I love Charlize Theron and Kerry Washington. So
That's true. I like both of them too.
And they're supposed to be best friends?
No, so they are
Oh.
teachers in the school. The best
Oh.
friends are played by newbies. I believe both of them. This is only like their second movie. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, Kerry Washington is in the good part of the school, and Charlie's is over the bad part of the school.
Oh.
Training the villains. So yeah.
It is kind of Harry
And
Potter.
I believe, and then yes, Lawrence Fishburne actually plays the dean of the school. So yeah, a good cast of characters. Then we have Acapulco Season 2 coming out on Apple TV. Not much is known about it. I'm actually surprised this series got a Season 2. We started to watch it, and it just didn't grab us. It wasn't, it was okay. It just wasn't the best. Because did you think this, I guess I'm answering for you, but I'm assuming
Sure.
you felt the same.
Yes, I did.
It wasn't that, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised it got a Season 2, but okay.
Right.
And then finally, The Peripheral. This is a new series on Amazon and stars Chloe Grace Moritz and Jack Rayner. So set in a future where when technology has subtly, oh my gosh, subtly, I can't say the word. Anyway, alters subtly. It's subtly.
Oh my. Very, very subtly.
There we go. Altered society. A woman discovers a secret connection to an alternate reality as well as a dark future of her own. I probably would watch this. I love Chloe. I've liked Chloe since Kick-Ass back in the day. So I probably would watch this. The trailer reminded me a little bit of that movie Ready or Not. That's the vibes it was giving me. If you guys remember that, it's kind of video game movie. But anyway, it's most Amazon series I end up liking. It's like, I hope they don't cancel this. As you guys know, I was a fan of the last series they did, which was Paper Girls, and they canceled it. I was like, no.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's like they keep doing this one. Like we watched, what was it? Tell Me Your Secrets. Never got renewed. I'm like, oh, like stop canceling things after one season. So the only good thing, and what I thought had been canceled, I don't think I've ever mentioned this in maybe one of our news things. I don't remember. Is that Jack Ryan is coming back for a freaking 3rd season. I was like, huh? That thing has not been on the air for 2 years. So I was like, I thought it was done, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yes, there is a 3rd season. It's been filmed, and it will. I'm like, what? It's supposed to come out, I want to say in December. I was
Why
just
do
like,
some kind of just like, they can just pop those out, and then others, it takes forever.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, Carnival Row? Hello.
Right, yeah. They said that's been filmed, and yet I don't know why they're not putting it out.
I know.
It's very, very odd. So I guess we'll see. And now to what we've been watching these past 2 weeks. So for me, I watched Werewolf by Night on Disney Plus. This was what they called a Marvel special. It wasn't movie length. It only was an hour, so it was like an episode length, but it was like a mini movie basically. But it was so entertaining. It wasn't scary. It was kind of like a throwback to the old, like 40s, monster movies of the past. It had like old school werewolf like makeup. It filmed a lot in shadows, and it had good comedy like thrown in there for good measure. I was actually I was surprised. I was surprised I was so entertained, but it was a very well made little show. So I highly recommend you watch it. It starred Gael Garcia Bernal. He mainly does Spanish language stuff. He hasn't been in really anything, English language outside. Well, that wasn't even Spanish. Sorry, he was nominated for an Oscar back in the day for it was like a Spanish language film. I was thinking it was English, but it wasn't. It wasn't. He's been with Natalie Portman. They're not married, but they've been together for like a decade, and they have a kid. But yeah, he doesn't do much on the American
Natalie
side.
Portman? Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He doesn't do much on the American side, but he's a great actor, especially in this. He did a great job.
Is he still married to her?
They're actually not married. They've just been together that long.
Oh, okay, because she
Yeah.
just had a baby, a couple years ago?
So, yeah.
5 years ago, getting ready to go to college by now?
Right, not quite. Anyway, but yeah. Anyway, I highly recommend. I would give it, honestly, 4 wine corks out of 5. Yeah,
On Disney Plus even?
Yeah, I
Good
was
for you.
surprised. And I think they get away. You guys, if it was in color, I admit it's mainly just the whole thing until the very end is in black and white. You can tell it would be very gory if it was in color. And I think they did that on purpose, made it in black and white, because they knew they wanted to show a lot of blood. And I think that's how you get away with not making or putting something like that on Disney Plus, is by filming it in black and white.
That makes sense.
So yeah, when people were getting killed, I was like, that's a lot of blood. But because
Yeah.
it was, I'm guessing that's why they could do it.
It was syrup.
Yeah.
It was just chocolate syrup.
Right, exactly.
Kind of like in Psycho.
Exactly. Then I watched the movie Beast on Peacock. It stars Idris Elba. Oh my gosh, you guys! I wanted to like it so bad. It just was okay. Unfortunately, the 2 young girls that played his daughters, I can't tell if it was their acting in this or just they gave him such stupid parts, but they drove me nuts. The friend I was watching it was laughing at me because I was so irritated by them. I was just like, I can't. They just kept doing stupid things. Sometimes they'd act somewhere and I was like, I don't, you're bugging.
Yeah.
You're bugging. Anyway, I liked it. I would have liked more explanation as to why the lion was acting as it was, but maybe I'm supposed to assume it was just one of those rogue
lions
that for some reason weren't part of. Basically, they go to Africa because his wife recently passed away from cancer, and they want to see where she came from because they haven't visited her home in a long time. And so he has a friend there that grew up with her, played by Sharlto Copley, who is South African actually. Anyway, and takes him on he works at a nature preserve and taking him around the nature preserve on this VIP tour, and of course that's where things go wrong. But I mean, they come across a great family of lions, which is a very cute part, because these lions like hug him, they're very friendly with them, and so I'm just like, how did this one go rogue?
So it doesn't give an explanation, huh?
No, it never did.
That doesn't work for me. I'm not watching it.
I'm sorry that made you think that the lion was like somehow superhuman. I hate that.
Yeah, right.
I do hate that too. It's like no. We were like, there's no way on some parts.
Yeah.
Anyway, it needs to be a little bit grounded in reality, and it just wasn't for me. So unfortunately, I had to give that only 2 wine corks. I'm not going to recommend it. I mean, and it was only 90 minutes, but honestly, it felt longer because I was getting so mad. Anyway.
Well, good. I wasn't going to watch it anyway because,
Mm-hmm.
well, because of my love for animals, and
Right.
that's just not okay with me. So I really won't watch it.
No.
So
Yeah, I'm like-
I don't even care if Idris Elba's in it, who's another great actor. But
Yeah, it was not the best, so no.
all right.
And then lastly, I watched The Luckiest Girl in the World movie on Netflix with, God, I'm forgetting her name now.
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis, sorry, yes. Mila Kunis was in there. And then Connie Nielsen played her mom.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did like it. I was surprised it was a little bit darker than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I know it's based on a book, and after I watched it thinking, I don't think I would have liked reading this book, because I'm sure the book was a lot more even detailed, because that's how books are. And
Right.
I've been like, oh my gosh, just things that happened to her. I was just like, oh, this is crazy. And it was funny. I kept thinking as it was going along, I don't know why I couldn't just watch it. Like, I don't know, just watch it as it was, but I just kept trying to guess for some reason ahead of time. Oh, has she confided everything to everyone? I was thinking maybe the fiance didn't know what had happened, but it turned out he knew everything. I was like, oh, maybe not all the detail, but I'm like, in general, he knew. And I was thinking in my mind, I'm sure she didn't tell him any of this, and that was going to be like a sticking point with them. And that wasn't it at all. It really was just supposed to be, I take it, about her and her trying to deal with it, and the fact that she really wasn't dealing with everything that happened to her.
Well, and then you had her mother, who was not a good parent through this whole thing, and very controlling of her when she was younger, and then, you know.
Yeah, very unforgiving. It's like, I get you told her what she shouldn't do, but you shouldn't be so staunch.
Yes.
She's trying to tell you what happened. It's like,
Yeah, she was kind of one of those mothers that would live vicariously through daughters. You know, those mothers who put their daughters in pageants because they just want to live vicariously through them. That's what she reminded me of.
yes, that's true. That's very true.
So-
I agree there. So,
But I thought it was good too because we both had watched that. So
I did like it. I kind of wish the ending was a little different.
yeah,
I was hoping, without giving too much of a spoiler away, that she was going to actually release the recording instead of what she ended up doing. I was like, oh,
right.
okay.
Yes.
I prefer the other thing, but that's fine.
Yeah. Yep.
That's fine. But I would give it. I would still give it 4 wine corks. I think out of 5.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would
Sure.
say I'd say 3.5 to 4.
Okay.
But
All
still, I mean, it's definitely worth watching. I
Yes,
thought.
it is worth watching. I mean, just not deals with some dark things. I guess as you get into it, if it's something that may trigger you or you're upset about, you fast forward. You can just. You don't have to watch certain parts that bug you. It's like, I'm like that with certain things. I don't need to see it to know what's happening. It's
Right.
like, so just.
I didn't think it was that graphic, in my opinion, but it does deal with rape. I mean, it does, and then how she deals with it, getting older, and yeah, it's got a twist there. I thought, and the fact that, anyway, just give it a whirl. Just take, and like you said, the whole premise of the show is definitely dark, but how she deals with it over the course of her life and how she comes out on the other side. So not only does she have that to contend with, but then the craziness of her mother. So, who is not the most supportive person on the planet.
Yes, that's definitely true. That's
Yeah.
definitely true. But that was it for me.
Well, good. So I watched quite a few. Shocking. One of them, The Luckiest Girl in the World. We just both watched. But I watched Hellraiser, the new Hellraiser on Hulu. Pinhead was super creepy. I think it was a woman who played
Yes.
Pinhead. But you know what? It was such a... Like, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell if it was a male or female. And
Really?
yeah, yes.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, it was. I thought they did a really good job.
Okay.
So, and I haven't seen the first one.
Oh.
So this one did not. I mean, I liked it, and the characters were just crazy weird. But I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I would give it probably 3, maybe 3.5 wine corks. So,
okay.
For a creepy show, makes me want to see the first one, because the first ones are always better. But
That's true.
yeah, I
That
don't.
was back in like the late 80s. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it may have been that one. Well, I guess you didn't really say. I don't know if you thought this one was scary at all, but I'm sure I remember the original. But again, I'm not one that likes scary movies being scary. I don't think I even fully watched it all, but what I did see, it was scary. So yeah.
Yeah, and it was. I didn't think it was like terrifying or anything like that, but I thought it was pretty hair raising. So definitely give it a whirl. Like it's on Hulu, so if you have Hulu, definitely watch it. Mm-hmm. And then last night I went to see Smile, which is out in theaters right now. That was scary. That was a good psychological thriller and paranormal, all the above, and I really enjoyed it. My son, who I can't seem to scare much, or that he thinks are all stupid, actually really enjoyed the show, and he has seen it twice.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So if you want a good Halloween movie, I definitely suggest this one. I really enjoyed it, and I took a friend of mine with me who does not like scary shows, but she did it as a favor to me, and she's still reeling from it. So it's all good. She's fine now. She'll probably be fine in a couple of days. And then I watched this documentary. It's called Aftershock, and it's on Netflix. And it's about the Nepal earthquake back in 2015. Did you know about that?
I don't believe so. It doesn't sound
So, I remember hearing something about it, but I didn't know how bad it really was. So it affected climbers on Everest. It affected the neighboring little cities around Nepal or around Kathmandu, and it killed a lot of people, like thousands of people, because their homes are not built like we build them here, right? It's like they're mud and dirt and whatever, cement. But some of these villages look like a tornado or a hurricane had gone through and wiped them off the face of the map. It took out families, just families and their families, So it was really, really interesting. So if you want a good documentary, I recommend Aftershock.
And that was on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So, well, that's it for me. I've started other things. I did start The Watcher, and I'm almost done with that. And that's a good one. Like you were saying, they still can't sell this house. Now I know why. I wouldn't buy it either. So, anyway, yeah, some good ones are out.
Yeah, they really are. And now it's time for some movie trailer talk. So first up, we have Babylon. This will be out December 25th and stars Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Samara Weaving, and Tobey Maguire. A good Christmas show. Not.
No.
Definitely not. It looks like it's about the excess of. It's weird. It looks like it's set in the 20s/30s of Hollywood, which honestly I don't think I realized drugs were like a thing back then, or that big of a thing back then. But I guess they were around. Who knew? Anyway, and yes, and all the craziness, partying, depravity, movie making that goes on with his. The parts of the trailer were funny. With Brad Pitt acting goofy as all get out.
Mm-hmm.
As looks like I guess he's supposed to be movie director. Is I'm going to take it. And his very poor chauffeur/assistant. I don't know, that's trying to help him along the way. Don't know. I'm guessing Margot Robbie maybe is an actress.
Yeah.
Who's trying to get her stuff together, but she clearly is not.
Can't.
Just a lot of things were happening in this trailer. Don't know exactly what the storyline is. I'm sure there'll obviously be a second trailer later that's a more, I'm guessing, toned down, so you get more of the meat of what this movie is supposed to be about. It looks, as it is right now, it's not something that I want to see.
Yeah.
Looking at it as
it's very Quentin Tarantino-ish. In fact, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, this has got to be a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Oh.
It also reminded me a little bit of what was this last one Brad Pitt was in? Something Hollywood.
Oh, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So I don't know what kind of genre that is, but it, like you said, there's so much going on. Kind of like Bullet Train-ish. I don't know what genre that would be called, but there you go. That's what I think.
We'll make a wrong drama called Crazy Drama.
Right.
That's the genre it's in.
There you go.
And then we had Megan. This will be out January 13th and stars Allison Williams, Violet McGraw, and Amy Donald, who is playing Megan. Amy Donald is a dancer. I had to look this up after I saw the trailers. I was like, who the hell is playing this person? Or this thing. Because I was like, I knew it was a person, obviously just made to look.
This doll.
Yeah, made to look like a doll. So, so basically it's, child's play for the now, but, lifelike doll form. This young lady, parents have died, her aunt takes her in, and she is someone who makes this doll because she's a scientist, and she gets to play with it. And unfortunately, it ends up taking on a personality of its own, a la just like Chucky did.
Yes, yeah.
And this is very protective of her. It was just a very creepy trailer. This is something I could tell as well would scare me, yet it's intriguing enough that I would probably still watch it.
Woohoo!
because it's just one of those things I would watch. I couldn't tell you why this versus say Annabelle I would watch, but I just would watch this above all. It looked really.
I think it
really
looks
fascinating.
so creepy.
I started cracking up at the dancing part. Did you? When she was dancing in like the hallway before she like went to like.
Oh yeah.
Like dance and then she does like flips before she's like. I was like.
Yeah, that was so weird. Oh my gosh.
What is happening? And then when she's like chasing the dude, the little kid on all fours, I was like.
Yeah, that freaked me out. That would freak me out.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm definitely watching this show, and what excites me is it's coming out on January 13th. I was thinking February for some reason. Theaters, right?
Valentine's Day, yes, in theaters.
Woohoo!
Yes, January 13th, one of the slower months, but I think that's a good thing because there's not usually much that comes out in January that they release. So, yeah, check out the trailer if you haven't yet because it looks very interesting, and yes, I think you'll be here for it as well. And then finally, we have Creed 3. This will be out March 3rd, and stars Michael B. Jordan returning as Creed. Adonis Creed, or Apollo. Right, it's Adonis Creed. His dad was Apollo.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
Tessa Thompson, and then Jonathan Majors, hot off his Loki fame. And for those who I never watched it, she did Lovecraft Country.
Oh yeah.
He looks great. This in the trailer, I was like, holy crap, this man bulked.
Michael B. Jordan?
No, Jonathan Majors.
Oh.
He bulked up for this. It's like when I saw him, I'm like,
oh yeah.
is that? What? Is this the same dude? Okay. Anyway, it
nice.
It looks really good. Y'all, I still have not even seen Creed 2. I need to get on that.
Yeah.
I have not. I don't know why. It's like I remembered it, and then it had just got put out of my mind, and I just never went back and watched it, even though I've wanted to. I like the first Creed.
Yes, the first one was
Sylvester
great.
Stallone is still, I know he's still in Creed 2, as well as Dolph Lundgren came back for Creed 2 as Drago. So I do need to get on and watch that way I'll be up to date once this one comes out. But it looks good. This is Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut. He directed this one. So
yay.
Yeah, I think it'll be really good. The story seems to be that Jonathan Majors is an old childhood friend of his that just got out of prison, and so he's trying to help him. But of course, because he's trying to go about it the wrong way, Adonis is like fighting against it, and then they end up fighting each other. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think it looks really good. So I will definitely see it. I should say hopefully.
Me too.
I never seen number 2.
But you know what's funny? I haven't seen number 2 either, and I loved the first one, so I've got to see number 2 as well.
Yeah.
Where can we see that?
Mainly because I am curious to see if I'm gonna guess it explain how Rocky ended in that one. Since he's not in this third one, I'd be curious to know how that went.
Oh, maybe he passed away.
So, right, it could be. So, I know, I don't know where you could see Creed 2. Maybe it's on HBO Max or something.
Yeah, or Amazon. I'm sure you could get it on Amazon.
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I will find out, and then
once
I watch it, I'm sure it'll be in my what I watched this week list, so don't you worry. I'll let you know.
Sounds good. All right. Well, that's all the time we have this week. Thank you so much for listening. We had fun and hope you enjoyed it as well. Please give us a review or a comment, as it really does help us out. And please follow us on Instagram at movies_munchies_moscato. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging.
Thank you, guys.